Ava Parker had always played it safe. At 29, she had a stable job as a senior marketing manager in Chicago, a neat apartment downtown, and a close circle of friends she had known since college. She had planned her life with precision, choosing comfort over chaos, predictability over surprises. But life had its own script, and it began to change the day she met Julian Hart. Julian wasn't someone who fit into Ava's structured world. Their first interaction happened at a local community art show. Her best friend Mia dragged her to the event, hoping to shake her out of her routine. "You never know who you might meet," Mia had said with a wink. Ava had rolled her eyes, sipping white wine and staring at abstract paintings she didn't understand. That's when she noticed him, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed casually in a black t-shirt and jeans, studying a piece of graffiti-style art with intense focus. His hair was thick and unruly, his jawline strong, and he wore a leather cuff on his wrist that looked handmade. Something about him was rugged and untamed. Nothing like the corporate men Ava usually dated. They ended up standing beside each other in front of a painting titled Truth in Layers. "Looks like chaos," Ava had commented. "Or maybe it's honesty, just not the pretty kind," he replied, not looking at her. His response surprised her. He turned his head then, and their eyes met. His were a deep hazel, filled with something she couldn't quite define. They talked for nearly half an hour right there. Julian was a sculptor, originally from Portland, and he had moved to Chicago just a few months ago to work on a public installation project. After exchanging numbers, Ava walked away feeling something she hadn't in a long time, intrigued. He was raw, expressive, and unpolished. Everything her exes weren't. Everything she never thought she wanted. Their first date was at a quirky jazz bar on the north side. Julian showed up on a motorcycle, a helmet tucked under one arm, smiling like he had all the time in the world. Ava hesitated for a moment, debating if she should climb onto the back. But something about the wind, the music, and the way he said, "Trust me," made her throw caution to the wind. That night they danced. Not just a sway and sip type of dancing, but real uninhibited movement to live saxophone and deep bass. Julian laughed often, made her laugh more, and when he looked at her, she felt like she was the only person in the room. Over the next few weeks, Ava found herself drawn to him more than she expected. Julian was passionate about his work. He showed her his studio, a loft with scattered tools and half-finished sculptures, covered in marble dust. He spoke about emotions like they were materials he could mold, bend, and shape. He challenged her structured thinking, asking why she stuck to plans so tightly, why she always needed to know what came next. She asked him why he didn't. He replied, "Because some of the best stories are found in the unexpected." They were different. Ava liked schedules and spreadsheets. Julian lived by instinct and inspiration. Ava thought love should be logical. Julian believed it should be wild. And yet, the more time they spent together, the more they found balance. He started to appreciate her attention to detail, and she learned to embrace a bit of spontaneity. But not everything was perfect. A few months into their relationship, Ava started noticing things that worried her. Julian could be distant at times, lost in his own thoughts. He would disappear into his studio for hours, forgetting to reply to her texts. She worried he wasn't taking things seriously. One evening, over dinner at her apartment, she brought it up. "Julian, do you ever think about the future? About us?" He looked up from his plate, thoughtful. "I do. Every day. But my version of the future might not look like yours." "What does that mean?" she asked. "It means I don't have a 5-year plan. I can't promise what city I'll be in next year. I work where the inspiration takes me. But I can promise I care about you deeply. And when I'm with you, there's nowhere else I want to be." His words were honest, but they scared her. Ava had always pictured settling down, building a home, starting a family. Could she do that with someone so free-spirited? That night, she lay awake, turning his words over in her mind. Was love enough without structure? Could she build a future with someone who didn't even believe in planning for one? She began to pull back. Not intentionally, but gradually. Canceling a date here, not replying as quickly to messages. Julian noticed. "Are you drifting, Ava?" he asked one night. "I don't know," she admitted. "I'm scared." He took her hand. "So am I. But we don't have to know everything. We just have to keep choosing each other. Every day. That stayed with her. A few days later, Ava was at her favorite coffee shop when she saw a young couple arguing at the table beside her. The girl was crying, the boy frustrated. It was loud, messy, uncomfortable. But then, without warning, the boy reached across the table and took the girl's hand, and she stopped crying. They sat like that for minutes, silent but together. It hit Ava then. Real love wasn't tidy. It was chaotic, unpredictable, vulnerable. Just like Julian. That night, she went to his studio. He looked surprised to see her. "I was starting to think I lost you," he said. "You didn't," she replied. "You scared me, but maybe that's what I needed." He waited. "I spent so long building a life that made sense," she continued, "that I forgot sometimes the best things in life don't make sense at all." She stepped closer. "You're nothing like I imagined for myself. But when I imagine being happy, really happy, you're in the picture. So if you're still asking me to choose you, I say yes." Julian didn't say anything at first. He just wrapped his arms around her and held her close. A year later, Ava still didn't have a plan for everything. She and Julian had moved into a loft together near the river. She still worked her job, and he still sculpted, now with her input on exhibitions. Some days were hard, some were magical. But every morning, she woke up next to him, kissed his forehead, and reminded herself of the truth. He was nothing like she imagined. And she wouldn't have it any other way.